Hey guys, welcome to Nameless Tuesday episode. I did have a thought though, Tim.
Yeah.
I feel like we are not great. I don't want to say it like that because it's I don't want to say it's intentional, but like it's part of it that we don't all have to be here on the Tuesday episode. That's like one of the things about the Tuesday episode.
Yeah.
And so I almost feel like we should call it Off Track with Hinch or Rossi.
Oh, that's funny. I like that. Yeah.
Because very rarely does it ever actually have both of us.
Yeah. No, I think that's good. I'll tell you who it always has though. Hey.
Yeah. Well, I'm going to also just gently point out your name's not in the title of either show. So nobody cares.
Which feels a little ridiculous that I have to be here.
You're the only guy that's been present for every single episode of this show. Well, have you ever missed one? Did we record one or two without you once, like way back in the day?
Yeah. John Green, but I was there. I was listening in. I had been delayed at an airport in Washington, D.C., so I was like listening in from the airport bar, but didn't think I should be on mic there.
That's fair. Question.
So technically that was a two-parter, so I've missed two.
I'm going to give you one on that, though, because we recorded it in one session. So how many have we done, roughly? Or do you know exactly? Because that's just like a thing that producers know. I can pull it up. I think it's like 310, but let me double check. It's disgusting. That means I've spent roughly 310 hours talking to you and Alex at some point over the last 6 years.
Yeah, which is not great.
On top of the normal amount of talking that I do.
Thumbs, George, and Cabins was our 313th episode, so this will be 314.
Wow. What was the name of the episode?
Oh, yeah, I don't run these by you. Thumbs, George, and Cabins.
Broken Thumb. I get that. Cabin. We were all in cabins. Who's George? Oh, George Russell. Got it.
Yeah.
Got it. I do notice the name sometimes, and I do sometimes enjoy what you write with those.
Sometimes. I'll take it. You know what? Sometimes is what I'm going for. Sometimes people like it. That's what I have as my Tinder profile. That's what I like.
Sometimes people like it?
Yes.
That's your Tinder profile.
My Tinder profile actually says I'm delightful.
Show us. Prove it.
And then there, like, one of my pictures is me holding an alligator because somebody had an alligator at this wedding in Florida. So then it says in parentheses, not my alligator.
Of course, somebody in Florida had an alligator at the wedding that you could hold. Prove it. Yeah, let's see your profile right now. Hold it up to the screen.
Oh, I will post it on the on the video, a screenshot of it, but I'm pulling it up. And if you want to see my Tinder profile, be a woman in Indianapolis. I'll be here for 2 weeks.
Do I dare ask like what that is Tim for those listening at home, there is Tim in a suit holding an alligator, and it says, I'm delightful, in parentheses, not my alligator. That is 100% correct.
And then it has, the one other thing, it says, my biography would probably be called A Series of Unfortunate Events.
Yeah, it does also say that. I gotta be honest, man. Everybody loves a little self-deprecating humor. Opening with that on a dating platform, how's that going for you? Like, I'm
single. I'm single. So.
Right. That's kind of what I thought you were going to say. Not necessarily. Maybe we mix it up. Maybe we try. What if you started like a separate profile that
you want to A/B test my dating life?
Yes. I want to like let Alex and I choose the pictures and set the bio, and we'll put them both up at the same time.
Do you remember when we made a Tinder profile for PJ Chesson, who was married and did not ask us to do that?
True. Yes, I do remember that. It was very funny.
The pictures were him on the altar with his wife.
Yes.
And then it was Chris Farley like breaking the jacket, doing the sketch from SNL.
Yes. Many of the pictures were not actually PJ. I think the only PJ actual picture was his wedding day. Mm-hmm.
Yeah. He got more matches than me.
Yeah. To be fair, PJ is kind of a legend. So don't take that one personally. That guy's on a program. So you'll notice Alex isn't here. Alex is busy doing Thumb Olympics and making himself better. And you'll hear more about that on the Thursday show. So Tim and I were like, well, we should probably, we haven't done it in a while. Bitched and complained about stuff.
Yeah. And I've been mad about things. Because, we used to do Grinds My Gears. But then
I always loved.
And we also, we always do that, what are you thankful for episode for Thanksgiving.
Yep.
I would rather just do what's pissing you off, a full episode. Because Grinds My Gears was just a segment. I think this Tuesday episode should just be us bitching about things. Everybody wants to hear,
always?
Everybody wants to hear
That's
people
too much
on podcasts.
No, not once a week.
No, I just mean this one. I just meant this one.
Okay. This Tuesday episode. Got it.
Yeah. Sorry.
All right. So what are we opening with? We've both got a couple.
I feel like you should start us off. What are you looking around at?
There's no way to say this without just sounding like an absolute douche canoe. But
can't wait.
Oh, so again, okay. So we're recording this backwards. We've already done the Thursday episode, so it's already been established that I'm on a boat right now, and so I'm in a room with the blinds closed, so there's no way to see outside. I'm in a windowless room essentially, right?
Okay, all right.
It just got kind of choppy, and the room is moving, but I have no visual reference as to how or why it's moving, and it feels weird, man. It feels very, very disconcerting. I'm very funny. Discombobulated. If I just hurl randomly mid episode, you'll now know why, because it's quite a bit of movement. There's a lot of motion in the ocean.
You know what? We'll start relatable. The first thing that kind of grinds James's gears when your yacht gets chopped.
I hate so much. No, here's one. I know we've talked about this, but we just had this happen. So the other day, Evan, Becky's brother, we were in Toronto, and he was catching a flight out, and it was an early flight, and I was getting up pretty early because we were driving back to Indianapolis from Toronto, and he was getting up at 5:30, leaving for 6. I was getting up at 6 because I had to pack up our place, pack up the car, pack up the dogs, whatever. And he was like, yeah, man, I'll try to be quiet in the morning. I was like, hey, man, it is what it is. No big deal. So I wake up, my alarm goes off at 6, and I was like, oh, wow, I didn't hear him at all. I'm like, sweet. So I sent him a text message. I'm like, hey, man, did you get out okay? Didn't hear you at all. The dogs didn't make any noise. Great job. And then, you sit in bed on your phone for a few minutes and check your emails or whatever. And then I get up and I open my door and I notice that his door is still closed. And I'm like, did he just close it on his way out? Or, and I gently knock on the door. I was like, Evie? And he's like, what? I'm like, oh no. I'm like, dude, you have to get up. You were supposed to leave 7 minutes ago. So it was this what's that?
Where was Alex doing that for me at South by Southwest when I overslept my flight by 2 hours?
And were you guys in the same room?
I mean, it was a large room. Don't get me wrong. It was no choppy yacht, but it was basically it was
not
the
where this
suite that IndyCar got him. So I was in a separate. Yeah.
Right. So anyway, so he's just throwing stuff and trying to get all the stuff together. And because he was planning on finishing packing when he woke up. And it was just he's like, I mean, I can't get all this stuff in the bag. I was like, dude, you go take your carry-on. I'm seeing you in 24 hours. Becky's going to be checking a bag when we fly down. I will check your bag and bring it with us. Because as you know, Tim, I have a very strict no checking bags policy unless it's absolutely compulsory, right? And this is exactly why. So we go to the airport. Becky and I check in. So the next day. And I check, Becky checks her bag and I check Evan's bag. Mm-hmm. We touch down and immediately the first email is from American Airlines. One of your bags did not make it. So at least we know that one of them didn't show up. We're not waiting to find out if it comes off the carousel or not, right? And so it's technically, it says Becky's. It says Rebecca Dalton's bag didn't make it. And this is obviously not going over great. This is not great news for Becky.
No. Going on vacation in the Bahamas.
Correct. And we're sitting there and I was like, well, honey, maybe there's a chance, that when they were checking us in, because we checked in together, they just put your sticker on my bag and my, we don't know. It's 50-50. I was very, very sure that was not the case. So I'm like, you just stand here, you just wait, I'll take care of it. So I went to the thing, got the information on when the bag was going to come in, stood by the carousel, and I just stood there and prayed. And sure enough, bag comes off the thing, and it's Becky's. Hallelujah, trip saved. Evan has some clothes, so he's fine. We'll get that bag today. It's good. But it just reiterates my burning hatred for checking bags. You spend so much time standing there waiting, and 1 in 10 times it gets lost. I bet if you add up the number of...
Do you get the loss or the search ticket in yours? I feel like I always get the search ticket in mine if I have to check.
Oh, the has been opened by... I don't know, Tim, because I don't check bags.
I only check a bag when I'm flying with Hazel, because it's usually like, if I'm flying by myself, I can do a carry-on. I don't care how long I'll be where I am. I will make
You literally wear the same thing every day.
I used to. I don't anymore.
I know, you have mixed it up a little bit. It's disappointing.
But yeah, if I'm flying with Hazel, there's just so much that you have.
No, that's why I said if it's compulsory, it's fine, and I get it. And like I said, I think we talked about that when I went to Italy for that trip last year, and it was like first time I checked the bag.
Got lost?
Yeah, for a week. Yeah, it was awesome. It was super cool, super cool. So anyway, I'm just doubling down on hating the whole process of checking bags and picking them up.
All right. Well, in the same sense of travel, because I've noticed this more in travel, but it's starting to leak out into public elsewhere. And I know we've talked about this before. What trend has happened where people think it's acceptable to watch a video or listen to a song on their phone without headphones? Because I've noticed it on pretty much every flight I've had for the last 3 months. There's been at least one person doing it. I walked into Qdoba yesterday for lunch. Somebody was just listening to music full blast on their iPhone.
Just listening to music?
Eating. Yeah. And it's just like, what the is wrong with you? Like, why? How have we made this step back in etiquette? Okay. I understand John Wick from perspective of his dog died. And yeah, I would seek revenge on that level. But if I watched John Wick and the explanation was that people were doing that on like a transatlantic flight and that was his revenge, I'd be like, I get it. I understand it.
How funny
I wouldn't
would
say
it
I
be,
would do it, but I sympathize.
How funny would it be if the movies John Wick made, or like the John Wick series, happened exactly the same, except the first one, you didn't find out until the last scene. The last scene was a flashback as to why he started the killing spree in the first place. Like you didn't learn about the dog. Good. So it's like, why did he do all this stuff? And then it shows you're like, oh, yeah, makes sense. Yeah, that's pretty cool. No, dude, listening to music loudly in like normal public, that's obnoxious. Listening to music or a video without headphones on an airplane, that's a
no-fly list.
That's a jailable offense. That's a jailable offense. Yeah. Absolutely. And
it's not an isolated incident. I remember the first time it happened, I was sitting next to this guy. And after about 10 minutes, I finally just go, can you put on some headphones? And he was
you actually said it?
Yeah. And he goes, I'm going to, man. Because it was a red eye. I was like, I'm going to, man. And he looked at me like I was the weird one. I'm like, I'm not the weird one. Like, you're weird. You're watching a Manny Pacquiao video without headphones on a red eye flight. And I just thought, man, but now it happens all the time.
I feel like next time, especially on a red eye, next time you should hit your call button, have the flight attendant come up to me like, yeah, excuse me. I believe my seatmate here forgot his headphones. Do you have an extra set? You could just.
Well, but then, okay. The one thing I can kind of understand where people would be justified. If I didn't have my AirPods, I don't have a headphone jack.
Yeah, no.
Now,
yes,
admittedly, my takeaway from that would be, guess I'm not listening to anything. Yeah.
Correct. Your AirPods died? Tough shit. That's on you. That's not my problem.
I gotta read or sleep.
Yeah. Or stare into the abyss. It doesn't matter. It's your fault. The rest of the plane doesn't have to suffer because you forgot to charge your
Can't agree more. Yeah.
Yeah. That one's frustrating.
You got another one?
Yeah, I do. I do have one more. So you'll hear on Thursday, we talk a little bit about pooping in public. And have you ever experienced this where, you're at a public restroom and they've got those auto flush toilets, right? And you're just like on your phone or whatever, and you lean forward just that slight bit too much and the sensor no longer registers you there. Then all of a sudden you hear it start to flush and you're like, no.
And then you get the splash. On you.
I jump up immediately. You just sit. Do you just cop it? You just sit down and let it flush?
But sometimes it happens. Sometimes you don't have time.
Yeah, sometimes you get like a little bit of the backsplash. Yeah.
I'm gonna take it a step further. I don't think we need automatic flushing toilets.
I don't hate automatic flushing toilets.
Okay, but why? Like I don't either. But I'm gonna expand on it. Why? Like, oh, you don't want to touch the toilet? You mean the thing I was just sitting on bare ass? Like, I'm gonna go wash my hands anyway.
No, that's fair, but you're now relying on other people to actually do their job.
Oh, that's fair. So okay. I was thinking of it as a convenience thing. You're pointing out that it's because so many people didn't flush. I didn't think about that. That's a really good point.
A lot of people just won't do it.
For evidence of such, see people on their phones in public. Okay, I hadn't considered that.
I really it's just like the worst feeling when you hear it, click in and I'm like, oh no, and you're trying to jump up and then you're just standing there with your pants around your ankles, waiting for the whole flush sequence to finish so that you can sit back down and carry on with your day. It's just, I don't know. It's not, there's gotta be a better way to do this. Why isn't it like a pressure sensor in the seat?
You got to wonder, is there like somebody whose job it is to calibrate and test the sensitivity of these things?
1,000%. 1,000% somebody had to do that. Absolutely. We're working on that.
My mom just walked in.
Tell Joan I love
her. James says he loves you.
I love you, James. More than Timothy.
What the
That's saying in the show. Oh, that's the best. You just told you made my day.
All right, you know what else? I hate that. That just happened.
You know what grinds my gears? That my family loves other people more than they love me. I don't like that. That's not cool.
I'm already youngest of 4, so I gotta contend with 3 brothers. Now I gotta add you into the mix. This is bull.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure she likes Rossi too.
I'm not competing with my brothers. They're bottom of the barrel types. You know.
Well, you're the baby. The baby always has a little bit of an advantage.
All right, I have one more thing to complain about.
Is this the driver's thing?
Yeah.
Okay.
We were up in Michigan, drove up to Pentwater, Michigan, drove back down. I will make an argument for Michiganders, I believe is the term, are the worst drivers in the country.
I got to be honest. Okay, explain why.
1, they cut everybody off without turn signals. And 2, and this is the most infuriating part, you know when a lane ends and everybody is trying to get over?
Yeah.
What's the most efficient way to merge?
Zipper.
The zipper merge. Yes, it's better for everybody.
It's 2 things. 1, you have to go all the way to the end of the lane.
Yep.
Okay? These people that try to merge 3 kilometers before the lane ends, I'll convert that to miles later.
Mommy, use the metric system. Sorry, I'm just trying to poison the well a little bit.
That's just, she's going to just like me even more. So, like when someone tries to go early and then someone passes them and uses the rest of the lane, then people like swerve out to block the lane. Because I want those people should also be thrown in jail.
When people swerve out to block the lane, that's all of Michigan. They will see a lane ending and they will have like trucks, cars, everything will move into the middle to try and block it like 2 miles back. Sorry, you said 3 kilometers. So let's say 1.8 miles back.
Perfect.
1.875 miles back.
Calm down, Timothy. Brain.
And it's just like you think you're like defending your spot or something. You're making it worse for everybody.
Yeah, literally everybody.
Like you're making it worse for you. You're making it worse for everybody else on this road. I can't stand it.
Guys, if you're listening, they've done the research. Okay, there's science behind this. Go to the end of the lane and it's 1 car from each lane. Zipper it in there. Let's make everybody's day a little bit easier. There's already some traffic. No one's liking this. Let's just get through it together. Let's stop it. Yeah. Now, I am going to take issue with your claim that they're the worst in the country because I feel like the general level of driving just in North America has plummeted in the last 10 years.
If we want to extend it to the continent, then I think Toronto gives everybody a run for their money.
Toronto's tough just because you're not actually driving.
It's more
anywhere.
the traffic, not the drivers. Yeah.
Right. I know they're also terrible. Don't get me wrong. But yeah, it's just like everybody in the left lane just poodling along, just getting. I mean, we've talked about that one at length. I don't think there's a good solution. I think we've just. It's funny. So Marvin Kirchhofer, my teammate at IMSA, was. It's Gesundheit. We were driving around and he was like, you can pass cars on the right here? Like he was like the level of I'm like, yeah, Marvin, you can do whatever you want apparently, because no one's following the rules of moving out of the left lane unless you're passing somebody. So yeah, I can do anything I want. Nobody cares. It's a complete free for all. There's no rules. There's no laws. And he was genuinely blown away by this. Coming from Europe, coming from Germany, they're like, it's so strict. If you pass on the right, like you get ticketed and it's the whole thing. People will call in your car. But that's because they leave the left lane open for people to do passing. And guess what? It's a much more efficient system.
And it's a lot more difficult to get a driver's license there. You actually have to prove you can drive, unlike here.
Yeah. Again, that's another thing we need to just work on. The whole driving system. All right, Tim, we've got some work to do. We've got to design and recalibrate some toilets. We have to completely overhaul the driver's ed program and the licensing system, as well as the traffic laws as far as etiquette, and need to come up with a proper level of incarceration for anybody using or not using headphones on airplanes.
I think we could solve that by next week's Tuesday episode.
Okay, so tune in next week for the Off Track with Hincher Rossi, where Tim and I will go through our list of solutions for these problems. And you know what, guys? Write us with some of your gear grinding issues that you might want us to discuss at some point on the show. And thanks for tuning in. See you Thursday.